Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Fenwick Trinity High School Virtual College Fair. And thank you for joining us. A few housekeeping announcements before we get started. You can use the Q&A button on your screen to type your questions to our presenters at any time. Your camera and microphone are both off, so the panelists cannot see or hear you. This is just one of many different sessions happening, so be sure to sign up for additional sessions. This presentation is being recorded and will be available within about a week at stridescan.com/fairblazers. With that being said, I'd like to turn it over to our first presenter.
Hello, everyone. My name is Quiana Levant. I am the Coordinator of Enrollment Management at Florida A&M, also known as Florida Agricultural and Mechanical University, as well as FAMU. And today I am going to be telling students and parents about why we say that FAMU is the institution where students discover what they can become. So before we get too deep into the actual presentation, I would like to ask that everyone viewing this webinar today follow our FAMU mobile app, Zapper. We are on Apple Store for iPhone as well as Google Play for Android. And through this app is where you can get connected with the university. You can take a virtual tour of our beautiful campus, follow us on social media, as well as provide your academic profile. If you are currently on a computer and you have your phone handy, you can use this first barcode to hover over with your camera, and through that, it will automatically take you to our app. And if you scan the other barcode, it's going to take you to some very, very important information, but I will also provide those links in the chat after I am done presenting, so no worries. So the next thing that you're going to see on the screen is something that we like to call our hype video. So we call it a hype video because it's supposed to get students really, really excited about applying to FAMU or attending if you have already been accepted. This hype video is going to highlight some of our programs, some of our resources, but more importantly, it's going to highlight our campus life, our campus community. And it's going to show you why we call ourselves FAMU-ly. That's FAMU and family. So I'm going to go ahead and get started. I hope that that video got you all really, really excited about possibly attending FAMU. So just a brief history, Florida A&M was founded as a state normal college for colored students on October 3rd, 1887 in Jacksonville, Florida. We later relocated to Tallahassee, Florida, and today we are known as one of the top HBCUs in the world. Next on the screen is some very noticeable individuals that we have here, some people that you may recognize. We call them notable alumni because they all attended FAMU and went on to do some really amazing things. We have Kay Michelle, who was actually Miss FAMU when she attended. Common, who was a rapper slash actor. He actually came back and spoke at our commencement ceremony. We have the mayor of Atlanta, Georgia, Keisha Lance Bottoms. We have the chairman for Microsoft, Mr. Thompson. We have Miss Pam Oliver, who is a Fox Sports Center newscaster, and we have Mr. Will Packer, who is a billion-dollar movie producer. So we like to highlight these individuals just to kind of let students know that if you take that first step, the sky is the limit. We are one of America's top colleges, and that was named by Forbes magazine. And I believe we received that title because of our 14 schools and colleges. We do offer students with 56 bachelor's degrees, 29 master's degrees, 3 professional degrees, and 12 doctoral degrees. Now, for the sake of time, I will not go through every single one of these colleges and schools, but you can find them on famu.edu. If you click on the tab Academics, it will show there for you. Now, I do want to just briefly to go over our admissions requirements for you all, just so that you know what you have to do to actually get into FAMU. And then from there, if you have any questions, please let me know. I will drop my email in the chat box. So as far as admissions requirements go, in order to get into FAMU, a student will actually need an 3.0 GPA on a 4.0 scale. You do have to have 18 academic units. That's going to be 4 English, 4 maths, 3 natural sciences, 3 social sciences, 2 foreign languages with an additional academic core units of 2.
Thank you so much, Florida A&M University. Next up, we will have the University of Alabama.
Hi, everyone. My name is Allison Pudlig, and I am the Chicago area regional representative for the University of Alabama. You may know Alabama by a couple names, maybe the University of Alabama, UA, Bama, or that school that says Roll Tide. But I hope to teach you a little bit more about our university and our admissions process today. First and foremost, we are located in Tuscaloosa, Alabama, which is the central western portion of the state. Now, location-wise, we're about 3 hours from Memphis, 3.5 hours from Atlanta, and 3 hours to the beach. So 3 hours to Gulf Shores. So we have a really ideal location. In 30 minutes proximity to campus, we have 3 different lakes. That bottom picture there is Lake Lurleen. This is 10 minutes from campus. At our UA Recreation Center, you can rent out kayaks, canoes, and even the straps to attach them to your car. And we also have programming for camping trips on the weekends as well. That top picture there is our downtown amphitheater. This is situated on the Black Warrior River. The Black Warrior River is the most northern part of our campus, and downtown and campus are connected by this river and a trail system. So if you love the great outdoors, you'll definitely love the University of Alabama. Now, in terms of our campus, we have over 37,000 students in total. 32,000 of those students are our undergraduate population. 60% of our undergraduate population is from out of state, so you are in good company. Even more so being from Illinois, since Illinois is our 3rd most represented state on campus. In fact, it equates to about 400 students in our 6,500 freshman class. Now, at Alabama, you have a lot of options. That's one of the best parts of going to a larger school, is that you have more opportunities. We have 12 different schools and colleges and over 200 academic degree programs to choose from. Some of our top programs or most notable programs would be our engineering school. We were one of the first 5 schools in the country to teach engineering at the collegiate level. Our nursing program has passed our last 2 graduate classes with a 100% pass rate on the NCLEX the first time around. Our accountancy program is ranked 11th in the country, and our law school is top 10 public law school as well. So we have a lot to be proud of, a really solid student faculty ratio for a large university, and some of our student faculty ratios even get smaller as you progress into your program. For example, nursing is 8-to-1 student faculty ratio. Plenty of opportunities to study abroad and do undergraduate research starting in your freshman year. One of those undergraduate research opportunities is attached to our honors college. We have 7 honors programs. You do have to be admitted into the university before you apply into the honors college. Now, in order to be admitted into the university, we do require an application, test scores, and transcripts. We are currently reviewing our test optional policy for fall of 2022. So we are optimistic that we'll be able to continue it for fall of 2022. However, no official decisions or announcements have been made at this time. Regardless of our admissions policy for fall of 2022, we never require a resume, recommendation letters, essays, or interviews. It's just our application and those supplemental materials. To give yourself the best shot for scholarships and housing at the university, we recommend applying early, and our application does open this July. So if you're applying for next fall of 2022, you'll want to submit your application as early as July and prior to October 1. Now, for our freshman class of fall of 2022, we are continuously impressed by the bright and capable students that enroll at UA. So we have an average freshman class profile of a 3.83 average GPA, a 27 average ACT, and 40% of our current freshman class on campus had a 4.0 GPA or higher. I do want to make clear that this is not our admission requirements. You don't have to meet these requirements to be admitted. In fact, if you have a 21 on the ACT or 1080 SAT and a 3.0 GPA, we consider you a good candidate for admission. However, this does give some structure to how we set our scholarship parameters. You can see that we start our automatic scholarships at a 25 ACT or higher. We also have holistic opportunities for scholarships on the right-hand corner. However, I don't want you to get too attached to these scholarship award amounts or criteria because we do reevaluate our admissions policies and our scholarships every single year. So this is just to give you an idea of some of the different ways that we do award our scholarships. But without further ado, I do want to talk about some of the fun aspects of the university. A lot of students seek out the University of Alabama because we have a really good balance between career and academic opportunities, and also that balance of social life as well. At UA, you have over 600 student organizations to choose from, including the largest Greek life system on a college campus in the United States. That's about 37% of our student body that's involved in Greek life. If Greek life isn't your thing, again, we have over 600 student organizations to choose from, and those range from social, political, religious, volunteer organizations, so plenty of options for all students. I also want to iterate that we have really great dining options as well. So you'll have all those same conveniences that you normally have on a college campus or back home, including several Chick-fil-A's on campus, Starbucks, Panda Express, Wendy's, and our dining hall plans are flexible enough that you can actually use them at the local grocery store next to campus. Now, I would love for you all to visit campus. So here's a timeline moving forward of what it would look like if you are currently a junior looking to apply to UA. So our application opens in July, and then you wouldn't have to make an official decision until May of your senior year. But during that time, feel free to visit us on campus. We would love to have you. On the left-hand side is our visit link, but definitely come and see us. I'll go ahead and put my contact information in the chat so that we can talk a little bit more about the opportunities at UA. Thank you all so much. Have a great day.
Thank you to the University of Alabama. And now if I could have the Southern Illinois University join me, please.
Hi, everyone. How's everyone doing? Give me 1 second here. Share my screen. All right. Well, hi, everybody. My name is Jonathan Vadesija. I'm a regional admissions representative for Southern Illinois University, Carbondale. I'm based in the Chicagoland area. So pretty much if you're from Chicago or the Chicagoland area, I'm going to be the individual that you're either going to be working with moving forward. So again, don't hesitate to ever reach out to me. SIU, we're a four-year public state university. For most of you that don't know, we are in the state of Illinois. We're about 5.5 hours away. It's literally the farthest you can go and still be in state. We're in the beautiful city of Carbondale, which, by the way, is not surrounded by cornfields. Remember, we are in the heart of a national park. right? We have a lot of lakes, rivers, valleys, small college town of about 25,000 people. So again, it's a very, very, very interesting place. Again, even though it's outside of the big city, there's a lot of things that if you're coming from the city that would kind of appeal to you, right? So again, Carbondale, very big on creativity, a lot of, music, art, performance. So if you're creative, this is definitely a place that you're gonna, find yourself interested in. And then again, it's a very small college town and really drives, the University of SIU as well, very welcoming. So in regards to information about SIU, again, we're a four-year public state university. We offer 200 different majors. You're allowed to obviously get your bachelor's, double major, pick up minors if you want. We also do offer master's, PhDs as well. We have our own school of law, our own school of medicine. So again, if you're thinking about some of those professional tracks, we do have some availability and pathways for that. 10,000 students, really about 11,000 right now. If you include some of those graduate and PhD programs, it's somewhere close to about 13,000 students. So again, it's not the biggest university, but again, it's not the smallest. I feel like it's right in the middle where you're not going to feel overwhelmed, but you're also not going to feel underwhelmed. Again, one of the big aspects about SIU, we're a research university. So we allow students to go a little bit beyond just attaining a bachelor's, right? We allow you to dive deep into some of these concepts or some of these programs in regards to research, whether you're working on your own or you're working with a professor. And we do this on the national and even on the global stage as well. So let's talk about how it would work. For example, if you're coming from Chicago, what kind of transportation do we allow our students to utilize? Is there a train? Is there a bus? The answer is yes, right? So if you're coming from Chicago, remember you're allowed to bring your car as a freshman, or you can always take the Amtrak, which you can find in downtown Chicago. And then you could also use charter buses. Once you're down in Carbondale, if you have your own car, again, it's really easy to navigate. It's like I said, it's not the biggest city. It's not the smallest either. Again, it's like kind of like college town, suburban feel. But if you don't have a car, you're good. We allow you to utilize shuttles and buses as part of your cost of attendance. And then if you have like a bicycle or something like that, scooters, again, it's very easy to navigate the campus and the city within those different methods of transportation. When it comes to housing, all freshmen do have to stay on campus freshman year. Remember, that's the only thing, the only disclaimer. If you're a freshman, you will have to stay on campus. All of our dorm rooms are fully furnished, Wi-Fi and cable, AC and heated. It's got all the utilities. Again, it includes everything in regards to housing, and the meal plan is unlimited, buffet style. Remember, it's just 1 year. The first year, after your first year, you have options if you decide you want to move off campus, or you want to look at some of our sophomore, junior, senior housing through the university. Again, you have several different options in regards to housing, but that first year you do have to stay on campus. We are Division I in sports. So again, competitiveness and school spirit, that's a huge part of the Saluki way. With the Saluki, you're going to hear a lot of Go Dogs, Bleed Maroon. That's kind of our thing. Again, we're really, really, really big on school spirit. I'm actually an alum. Like I said, I'm originally from Chicago and I attended SIU. So again, when it comes to that, whether you want to be an athlete or you just like watching sports, you're definitely going to get some exposure to that. Clubs, right? Registered student organizations. So like I mentioned, we have 200 different programs, right? But we also have over 300 different clubs that complement these programs, whether it's professional, religious, academic, fraternities, sororities. I mean, for some of our programs, we have a really good aviation program. We have a flight team. For automotive, we have an autos club. For business, we have an investment club where our students get to invest and manage a portfolio of $1.2 million that are donated every year from our alums, right? So again, our students, yes, quality education for sure, but there's some things that go a little bit beyond that let you get a little bit more hands-on and a more little life experience, like real life experience, real work experience as you're attaining your degree on campus. Study abroad, again, SIU, we look at the way we look at things, it's not just from a domestic lens, it's from a global lens. So we get people that come from all over the world, and we send students all over the world to study. Now we are in the midst of the pandemic, and it is difficult to say if study abroad will be available maybe this year, but if things start to open up, obviously our students will be allowed to go back and engage in that study abroad, right? And so just finishing up, if you're interested in applying, remember we're test optional. 2.75 GPA gets you in automatically. If you have over a 2.75, you will be awarded scholarships based on your GPA from 2.75 to 3.0 to 3.5 to 3.8 being the full ride. If you're interested in applying, my juniors, it opens up July 1st. For my seniors, it's open right now. Again, if you can get a fee waiver, you don't have to pay the $40. If you can't get a fee waiver, $40, transcript. We'll make a decision. If you want, you can send in your SAT or ACT. Again, if you need anything, please feel free to reach out to me directly. And if you can, visit campus. Again, we look forward to working with you, and thank you for your time.
Thank you so much, Southern Illinois University. Now, if I could have the University of Tampa join me.
Yes, hi everyone, welcome, thanks for joining. If I could just ask that the current screen is stopped sharing so I could go ahead and share mine, thank you. So I am representing the University of Tampa. I work closely with students in the Illinois and Chicagoland region. I have 6 minutes to give you a snapshot of UT, so I can't highlight every area, but starting out, we are located in West Central Florida, so we have access to a lot of major neighboring cities, St. Pete, Clearwater, Disney World, and our downtown is walking distance within 5 minutes from campus. So there is a lot going on in this area. We have really beautiful beaches for students to take advantage of. About 30 minutes from campus, St. Pete was actually ranked #1 beach in the country just recently, according to TripAdvisor. So that is something our students take advantage of on the weekends. We also have a very robust and active downtown. So as I mentioned, we're about 5 minutes walking distance to the downtown. This has been a really big year for sports. If you've been following, it's very exciting to watch it unfold. We are the Stanley Cup champions, the Super Bowl champions. We had our Rays in the World Series, and typically students will get discounted tickets to these events and transportation over there as well. In those bottom 2 right pictures, you can see the downtown, a little bit of our Curtis Hickson Waterfront Park, and Riverwalk, which are popular spots for students to stay active. We have a lot of different seasonal events happening there. So there is a lot happening in our downtown for students to take advantage of outside of campus. To give you some basic background, we were founded in 1931, so we've been around for quite some time. We are private, so it's the same cost for in-state and out-of-state tuition. We're independent, so we don't have a religious affiliation, and we are considered a medium-sized institution. So not too big and not too small, roughly 9,600 students. We like to say that we're an urban environment with a campus feel. So we have a very self-contained, tight-knit campus, but as I mentioned, that accessibility to the downtown. So you really get to experience the best of both worlds. And this is a great aerial shot of our campus. You can really get a feel for where we are in relation to the Hillsborough River and the downtown. We also have a really diverse student body. So we have all 50 states represented, over 130 different countries, and our average student is studying 1,000 miles away from home. So coming from Illinois, you're definitely not alone. Our average class size is roughly 22 students with a 17-to-1 student to faculty ratio. So you really will get to take advantage of personalized academic experience throughout your time here at UT, where you build relationships with your professors and utilize them as a resource for internships and job placement opportunities. We also don't have any graduate assistants teaching. So all of our professors have their PhD or the highest degree in their field. We offer over 200 different areas of study, so there is a lot to choose from. You can consider double majoring and minoring in fields that are unrelated. And we have a really big emphasis on experiential education. So that will vary from department to department, but many of our students have internship experience, are working in labs, collaborating outside of the classroom, or doing some shadowing opportunities. So it'll vary from department to department, but we really push that learning by doing and getting that hands-on experience outside of the classroom. 97% of our students are receiving some sort of financial aid, with our average aid package sitting at around $11,000. And at the time that you apply, you are automatically considered for our merit-based awards. And we will look at your GPA and course rigor to help us determine eligibility. So that can range anywhere from $4,000 to $18,000, and it is renewable throughout the year. So there are a couple different ways that we can help you aid in that cost going down. So for our freshman applications, we are looking for an official high school transcript, an essay, and at least one letter of recommendation. We are currently test optional through the spring of 2023. So for my juniors, this is great news. You don't have to worry about a test. Just send us these additional materials and you will be all set. I just have our application deadlines listed here. If you are a junior, I encourage you to meet that November 15th deadline. All of these deadlines are non-binding and we are rolling admissions. So the sooner you apply, the better. So keep that November 15th deadline in the back of your mind. If you do apply by that date, you'll hear an official response by December 15th. And lastly, I just have my contact info up here. Good to stay connected with me throughout this process if you have any questions. If you scan that QR code on the screen, I will send you a fee waiver. So when this time rolls around next year, you can bypass our $40 application fee. So definitely take advantage of that. I'll leave it up for a moment if you want to scan that so you can get that fee waiver. And we also are hosting in-person visits. So if you're coming down to Florida in the near future, I hope to meet and connect with you. And if not, we have a lot of different virtual events taking place, like departmental info sessions, open house, and more. So thank you all so much for your time.
Thank you for the University of Tampa. Next up, if I could have the representative from Regent University.
Hi, y'all. Thank you so much for joining us today. My name is Mackenzie with Regent University. I'm joined by my colleague Jeannie on the back end. We're just excited to share a little bit of information with you about who we are at Regent University. So we are a four-year nonprofit Christian university located in the beautiful Virginia Beach, Virginia. We do have our online programs as well, which is a super prestige program as well. We'll talk about that in a little bit. Here at Regent, we have about 11,000 students in total, but 4,400 of them are classified as undergraduate students. And these students are either taking classes online, they live on campus, or they'll commute from the local area. Our students do represent all 50 states, 90 countries, and 40 denominations. So you can definitely say we have quite a diverse population. On this screen, you'll also see our average test scores and GPA. At Regent, we do look at the student holistically, which means we'll look at them beyond their transcripts and SAT scores. We'll take into account their extracurricular activities, the difficulty of the classes they're currently taking or they have taken, and then their information that they'll submit alongside their application. You'll also see the average SAT and ACT scores listed on this slide, but keep in mind we are test optional this year as well. But we do encourage all students to submit those scores if you have taken them, because that can help with some scholarship opportunities. At Regent, we are an award-winning regionally accredited liberal arts university, and we've achieved this for over 40 years now. For 9 years in a row specifically, we've been awarded the best online bachelor's program in Virginia. And this is something I'm just super proud about because this is competing against larger universities such as University of Virginia and Virginia Tech. This is also a huge benefit for our students now more than ever because of this new virtual world that we all are living in. We do also pride ourselves on developing a comprehensive curriculum for which we are one of only 23 universities in the country to receive what's called an A rating. You'll also see on here that 90% of our full-time faculty hold the highest degree in their discipline, and many of them are still actively working in their fields, and it just really helps when it comes to that real-world experience needed. And then lastly on this slide, our student to faculty ratio is 17:1. So this classroom dynamic, the small classroom dynamic, also allows our students to receive just a very personalized instruction from their professors. So we always love to say here at Regent, our students are never to be lost in a large lecture hall. We do realize that figuring out finances is a huge portion when it comes to choosing the best school for you. So at Regent, we are committed to making our education extremely affordable, which is why we are ranked in the top 5 percentile for most affordable private colleges and universities. The cost on the screen is the cost across the board for all students. Since we are a private university, we do not have what's called in-state or out-of-state tuition. Over 85% of our undergraduate students will receive some sort of aid. We have a number of institutional opportunities, and also we encourage all students to apply for the federal aid and the FAFSA as well. And then you'll also see on here what we call our net price calculator. It's an excellent resource for breaking down your costs based on your individual circumstance. And then like I've been saying, perhaps you're a student who prefers the flexibility of learning online and on your own schedule. So the tuition in this case is determined by your course load. So just an example, full-time is considered 12 or more credit hours per semester. I always love to say at Regent, it's kind of your one-stop shop when it comes to pursuing your education. So we do offer over 135 different programs of study, from associate's degrees all the way through PhDs and doctoral programs. For those students who do desire to pursue their degree with more of that classical approach, we do offer our honors college. And this is just a really challenging curriculum and collaborative environment. Some students prefer that. And by participating in the honors program, there are a lot of benefits that are like scholarships, extensive mentorship from faculty members, and even priority class registration. So definitely take advantage of that if that's something you're interested in. At Regent, we do offer students many resources to ensure their success. And this is nice because it's whether you live on campus or you're an online student as well. And it goes through even when you're an alumni. One of my favorites is the Office of Career and Talent Management. It's just a really good resource to help solidify your resume, learn how to better interview and things like that. But we do understand that your college experience involves every aspect of your life, and Regent offers a lot of opportunities aside from the classroom. So for example, we have over 55 student-led organizations, including surf clubs. We're just 20 minutes from the shore. We have a moot court. We do have a law school on our campus, and our student activities board as well. We offer 9 collegiate sports as well as club and intramural sports too. We also do have our state-of-the-arts performing arts center, where students will either watch or participate in several productions throughout the year if that's something you're interested in. And then fun fact, we are an extremely military-friendly campus, and over 30% of our population is military affiliated in some way. So if you're interested in a military career, we have options for you as well. And then, like I mentioned, Regent is located on coastal Virginia Beach, only a 20-minute drive from the boardwalk. So fun fact, again, in the state of Virginia, there's 38 state parks and 21 national parks. So it's a perfect place to venture out and explore over the weekend. We're also home to several historic sites, including nearby historic Williamsburg. And then we're just a few hours away from things like Outer Banks and Washington, D.C. Now, our campus is open and we want to meet with you. We're open for tours and we'd love for you to come check us out. But if you're unable to, you can also join us for a virtual tour on campus, and definitely take advantage of that if you're not close by. But you can apply online or call and speak with one of our admissions counselors, and they can often, they'll waive the application fee for you if you do give us a call. And then we do operate on a rolling admissions base as well. So it's not too late to apply for this coming fall, and we'd love to accept your application. But we'll put in the chat our information and answer any questions that you may have. But that's all I have. So thank you all so much for joining us today.
Thank you so much, Regent University. Last but not least, we have Belmont University.
All right, thank you so much. Well, good morning or good afternoon, everyone. My name is John Paul Murray, and I'm Assistant Director of Admissions here at Belmont. I am the counselor that works with students in the Chicago area, but I'm based in Nashville. So if you ever have any questions, please feel free to reach out, and I'll put my contact information in the chat later on for y'all. Here at Belmont, we're a medium-sized private co-ed Christian institution. We have just over 8,200 students total, with about 6,600 of those being undergraduate students. Really small class sizes, on average about 19 students. You'll see our student to faculty ratio is 14:1. So if you're looking for a school where you're going to get to know your professors and get to know other students, that's certainly us here at Belmont. But at the same time, we're big enough that you're always meeting new people. You've got new faces in your classes every semester. So it's kind of a nice best of both worlds. Our campus itself is pretty compact. It takes you about 10, 12 minutes max to get from one corner of campus to the other. No big city streets, anything like that running through us. So very manageable to get around our campus itself. Our students come from all over the country. About 70% of our student body is from outside of the state of Tennessee. Illinois is one of the largest states that we pull students from. Usually it is our largest outside of Tennessee, and usually just right around 100 students coming specifically from the Chicagoland area. Now, we are located in beautiful Nashville, Tennessee, about an 8-hour drive away from Chicago, about an hour direct flight from O'Hare or Midway. Of course, this is a picture of downtown Nashville. We're located just about 2 miles south of there, nestled in between some fantastic neighborhoods. The one that you maybe have heard of before is just north of our campus. That's Music Row. Music Row is the hub of all things revolving around the music industry. So that's where you're going to find record labels, performing rights organizations, studios like the one that's pictured here. It's called Ocean Way Studios. It's the largest studio in Nashville, and it's actually owned and operated by Belmont. So you're in a great location within a really fun city. There's always something happening here in Nashville, but we also want to make sure that you're getting connected with real world experiences outside of your time on campus. So internships, practicums, clinicals, whatever that is, we want to make sure that you're taking advantage of everything that Nashville has to offer. From an academic side of things, we have just over 100 different majors that y'all can choose from in a wide variety of different areas. So a little bit of something for everyone. A lot of people will know Belmont for the arts. We have really strong programs surrounding the performing arts, music, the creative and entertainment industries. You'll see some of our largest majors listed here, but also the majority of campus is majoring in something not revolving around the arts. For example, you'll see our second largest major is our direct admit nursing program. We have really strong programs within the sciences, the more traditional sciences as well, things like biology and psychology. We have a great Massey College of Business. The list goes on, and we're always adding new programs as well. And again, keep in mind, regardless of which major you choose, you're going to be in those small class sizes, and we're going to make sure that we're getting you connected to those real world experiences as well. Now, from a student life perspective, our students come again from every state within the nation, and most students move onto campus not knowing a soul. Of our incoming 1,700 students this past year, those students came from 1,100 different high schools. So that's over 1,000 people easily moving onto campus, not knowing anyone their first day of class. So for us, it's so important that you get plugged into the student experience. We are a very residential institution. Students are required to live on campus for their first 2 years. And then at that point, you can move off campus if you'd like to do so. But most students do stay on campus for all 4 years. We have just over 160 different student organizations and clubs that y'all can choose from. So again, a little bit of something for everyone. We're also proud to be NCAA Division I athletics here at Belmont. We participate in the Ohio Valley Conference. Our women's basketball team actually just won the conference tournament this past weekend, and our men won the regular season title, and we're hopeful that maybe they'll make it in as an at-large bid to the NCAA tournament. So we'll see what comes from that, but all of our athletic events are totally free for students. We'll also have some special events on campus from time to time. Very common for us to have concerts, tapings for television. Most notably, we hosted the final presidential debate actually this past fall. So always something cool happening on our campus. Now, admissions wise, for those of y'all that are juniors, our application will go live on August 1st of your senior year, which isn't that far away. So y'all can start working on it at that point. We do accept the common application, and we have our own application as well if you prefer to use that. We are test optional for students applying for this fall as well as for next fall. You'll see some averages listed here on the screen if you would like to submit those test scores. Average GPA is about a 3.8. We do ask for a counselor recommendation. We also have an essay and a resume. We review all of our applications holistically. So we're taking a look at absolutely everything before making a final admissions decision. So know that we want to know who you are as an individual, and we want some context to those numbers. What have you been involved in? What's been going on in high school? All that jazz. We do have merit scholarships available for students. All you need to know for this is that you're automatically considered just by applying for admission for everything that's listed here on the screen. Big date to keep in mind is December 1st. As long as you have your application and supplemental materials in by then, you are automatically considered for any and all merit-based scholarships. Last thing I'll mention is we are open for in-person visits. So if y'all are coming to Nashville anytime soon, definitely come by and see us. I'll put my contact information in the chat for y'all, and happy to answer any other questions that you have as well. So thank y'all so much.
I want to start off and say thank you so much to all the panelists that have joined us today. We do have a bit of time left, and I would love to use that for some Q&A right now. So if I could have the Florida A&M University join me, and please tell our audience, what advice would you give someone going through the college application process?
Hi, so the only advice that I would give is to, one, make sure that the institution that you're choosing has a major that you're interested in. When it comes to the actual process of applying, completing the application, make sure that you are reading the full application and that you are providing all of the supporting materials and documents that the application asks for in order for the institution to make a very fast and efficient decision for you.
Thank you so much. Now, if I could have the University of Alabama.
Yeah, so starting the college search journey is a very interesting and vibrant process. You're going to learn a lot about yourself and a lot about other universities. One just housekeeping tip that I would recommend for students is create a separate college email. So if you go to Gmail and you create another email address specifically for all of your college emails and reaching out to different representatives, that's going to be a great way to stay organized. And that way you're not feeling overwhelmed with your personal emails of all of these college messages that you're going to be receiving. Another tip also that aligns with creating your separate Gmail account is that if you are a twin or a triplet, make sure you're using separate Gmail accounts because that does impact how we review applications at the college level. So that's just a really quick tip. Hopefully that helps.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Now, if I could have Southern Illinois University, do you have any advice?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, all the advice we've heard so far is great and amazing, but I will tell you all that as you're going through the application process or the college search process, to reach out to us, right? Meaning that if you can identify who the individual that's in charge of your specific territory is, shoot them an email, give them a call, because those are the individuals that for the most part will be helping you throughout the whole process. So if you get a hold of that admissions counselor or that regional representative or somebody of that sort, it will definitely facilitate this process and make it a little bit easier. And obviously, you know, our job is to help you. Our job is to make this a little bit easier to navigate for you and your family. So again, I would advise that when you get a chance, do your research, you know, visit campus, but definitely get a hold of those admissions counselors.
Awesome. Thank you so much for that advice. Now, if I could have the University of Tampa.
Yeah, I just want to remind students to also use that Q&A feature. If we can't get to your question today, we'll follow up with you later on. But my best tip of advice would be to apply sooner rather than later. And that goes for scholarships and everything that you do. The sooner, the better.
Awesome. Thank you so much for that. And like she said, if you have any questions, please feel free to use that Q&A button. Now, if I can have Regent University join me.
Yeah, I would say my tip of advice would be there's a really bad stigma that comes with federal financial aid. Federal aid doesn't always mean student loans. There's a lot of opportunities where you're able to get grants and things like that, and also take advantage of filling out your FAFSA and take your time with that, because if you create any mistakes on there, it can actually cause a longer process for you. And then also always ask the institution you're applying about institutional scholarships. Right now we're doing like a $10,000 scholarship for those applying. So always ask about any scholarships that they have available as well.
Thank you. And last but not least, if I could have Belmont University.
Yeah, absolutely. A piece of advice I always give people is don't feel locked into a specific major or academic area. I think that sometimes maybe you say, I'm absolutely going to study this program, and that informs your whole college search. And that can be really helpful, but don't feel like you're tied down to that or tied down to what your parents want you to study as well. So take ownership of this process and let yourself explore. That's why we call it a college search process. So that's my tip.
Thank you so much to our reps for this time and for giving us a chance to talk to these students. And I want to thank the audience as well for joining us for this time. It's a great time that if you had any final questions, go ahead and use that Q&A button. These questions will be forwarded over to your representatives and they can reach out later. Once you close this window, there's going to be a very quick link of about 4 questions on the survey. So just feel free to give us back any feedback that you can provide. Also, there's more sessions to be offered, so sign up for additional sessions. And lastly, in about a week, we'll be able to find the session on strivescan.com/fairblazers. So thank you so much for joining us, y'all, and have a great day.